The point about progress is to have the ability to have a vision and a belief and some faith in what can be, unburdened by what has been.
So November, what a month it has been. This is Alex, host of the Doom Planet podcast. This is episode 118. On Halloween, Michael Bloomberg posted this: I voted for Kamala Harris without hesitation. When it comes to policy and personal integrity, the contrast could not be clearer. That's funny because policy-wise, both candidates cheered on a genocide and said that they would continue the United States-sponsored genocide in Palestine. I hope undecided voters with a history of supporting candidates in both parties join me. So yeah, how did that strategy that the DNC had to go after right-wing undecided voters who vote for both parties, how did that work out? Those people don't exist. There's a picture of this little sociopathic gremlin. Michael Bloomberg, of course, made his fortune on Wall Street in a scam, really. What was it? It's the Bloomberg Terminal, this special computer that Wall Street traders all needed, that you have to subscribe to the service. It's just a computer on a desk. Michael Tracy posted the person RFK decided was qualified to be vice president. Of course, RFK dropped out and supported Trump, received a $1 billion Google divorce, and rambles on about needing an exorcism and alludes to Jill Biden wearing a panda costume on Halloween, and that's a satanic ritual, satanic pedophilia ritual. George F. Will, the ancient Washington Post columnist, wrote, voters face the worst presidential choice in U.S. history. I have to agree with that one. Kamala Harris appeared on Saturday Night Live. And, it's not live, but it was a pre-taped bit. It's a signal of cringe to millions of viewers.
A black South Asian woman running for president, preferably from the Bay Area. Nice to see you, Kamala.
It is nice to see you, Kamala, and I'm just here to remind you, you got this.
Jeff Bezos has been selling billions of dollars worth of Amazon stock. Famously, his Washington Post, neolib capitalist rag, did not endorse a presidential candidate this time around in deference to former president and future President Trump. And yeah, that SNL thing with Kamala was much more cringe than one could ever expect. Just horrifying. She has a bad personality. She's not an intelligent person. She's a social climber that got through law school because she figured out how to do rote memorization of useless facts. And she lost the election, as we found out. People were saying, oh, Kamala Harris is polling ahead in Iowa. The poll where you call people that still have landline phones and extrapolate that Kamala is going to win Iowa. Oops. Adam Johnson wrote, the Harris's plan to end the war, quote, unquote, based on her repeated statements, is to aid and militarily support Israel without conditions until they eliminate Hamas, even if it takes years. Their plan for a ceasefire, the Biden-Harris plan for a ceasefire that they talked about incessantly, is to, according to Adam, simply militarily defeat the bad guys. Kamala Harris, excuse me, I'm speaking. Classic. Some Palestine protesters were interrupting her speech, and she says, I'm speaking. And then They made that into a T-shirt, and then Stephen King, the schlock writer, wore that T-shirt and posted a selfie of himself wearing that cringe T-shirt on Twitter.
You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking. If you want Donald Trump to win...
Tanya Wu, who lost the election for Seattle City Council again. She lost last time and then was appointed to fill a vacant seat. The ASAM News called the stranger's criticism of Wu, called it the stranger a powerful and highly influential and prominent left-wing newspaper. That's not what the stranger is. The stranger is a website that barely exists and has no power. They might have thought of themselves as being like, influencers of the politics scene in Seattle, but barely. Elizabeth Warren posted, God, the cringe. This is the month of cringe. Elizabeth Warren posted, this is your daily reminder that Trump is responsible for overturning Roe versus Wade. She might have forgotten that the Democrats convinced octogenarian cancer survivor Ruth Bader Ginsburg to not step down until after Hillary won the election over Trump, so that they could use her retirement and her Hillary appointing a replacement as a glass ceiling PR stunt. Boy, did that backfire. I think, this all goes back to Obama, this disaster. Obama picked Joe Biden, or his handlers did, to be vice president in like a DEI hire because they needed to find the whitest, most conservative psychopath to complement Obama and kind of soften the edges of the fact that a black person was going to be president. Here's our prediction, Doom Planet prediction posted online on the 4th of November. Trump wins. Harris would be the slightly less awful choice, although that's debatable, but the bar has been set so low that it couldn't get any lower. TikTok does not allow political advertising, but Tanya Wu appeared on TikTok on the Seattle Foodie Adventure website, eating a Thai tongue, the kind of dive old-style Seattle Chinese restaurant that Bruce Lee ate at a few times. And talk about someone with no personality and no political chops, and sort of a right-wing cop. That Tanya Wu maybe should have been Kamala Harris's running mate.
A black South Asian woman running for president.
Episode 117 of Doom Planet, we interviewed RFK Jr., not for real, of course. And so when Trump won, we posted, get ready for 4 more years of RFK Jr. in power and more beheaded whales. The Needling, great news outlet, like Seattle's Real Fake News. And to their credit, NPR's Seattle station KUOW has the lady that started the Needling as a guest on one of their talk shows. The Needling reports, chasing approval of total dick, still bad idea. There's a picture of Kamala Harris and Dick Cheney. Harris was at a Penzies, which is a liberal spice chain of spice shops, when she was asked, Dick Cheney endorsed you. What do you think about that? And she was like,
Actually, I'm honored to have their endorsement, and I think that what they both, as leaders who are well respected, are making an important statement that it's okay, and if not important, to put country above party.
Tanya Wu's Facebook page has her at a restaurant with Sarah Nelson, the right-wing cop, and some cops. So, okay, Trump won. That was not a shock. In fact, I won some money betting that he would win. And I also made some investments in shitcoin, knowing that because of his association with Elon Musk, that shitcoin would skyrocket, which it did. So I was getting texts after the election from Ro Khanna. Breaking, 10 House races are still undecided in California. Rush in an emergency $15 to build a Democratic firewall against Trump. So these Democrats spent $1.5 billion in 100 days, knowing they would lose, and they're still begging for money after the election. And where do you think most of that money goes? It goes to corporate media entities. And who owns these corporate media entities? The billionaires. So the billionaires won, and they won big. Now, if Kamala had won, the billionaires still would have won and won big. It was like, what are people saying? The plutocratic billionaires versus oligarchic billionaires or corporate billionaires. Max Blumenthal, I just subscribed to his podcast. I don't know why I wasn't listening before. Calls Trudeau in Canada a posh twerp. That is the perfect description for that fucker. Tim Waltz's daughter, Hope, says the country doesn't deserve Kamala Harris. Yeah, you're right. We deserve better.
The point about progress.
And The Nation posted, Kamala Harris succeeded in so many aspects of her 107-day campaign. She lost in a landslide. She lost the popular vote to a con man orange game show host. Noah Colwyn posts, our media and political elites are hopeless cynics, charlatans, and climbers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I revisited the fact that one guy in the insane clown posse, the head juggalo, endorsed Kamala Harris. And I wrote, yeah, nice jugs. Didn't help, did it? Tanya Wu, okay, out of the Seattle City Council, and hopefully I won't have to mention her again, but after the election, she's still an activist in the Seattle's International District neighborhood, I guess. She posted on Facebook that a truck driver ran over a guy in an alley in Seattle Chinatown International District twice to avoid a pothole. And we can't confirm that story. Okay, Marco Rubio is going to be Secretary of State. The Needling posts J.D. Vance is going to be Vice President and possibly President if the daily Big Mac and Filet-O-Fish eater finally succumbs to health problems, although he is superhuman.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Get yourself ready for a trip through McDonald land. Take along a friend and grab a hold of Ronald's hand.
The Needling posts, J.D. Vance relieved he won't have access to Oval Office furniture until after No Nut November. So Trump is appointing Elon to a new agency, Department of Government Efficiency. Get it? Doge. Dogecoin way up this month, as are the other shit coins. Billionaires are dumping stocks. Bezos has sold 12 billion of Amazon shares. Warren Buffett is dumping his Apple stock. Warren Buffett has 325 billion in cash. What an amazing man, Warren Buffett. He still lives in the simple 2-bedroom house in Omaha that he bought as a young man, even though he's a billionaire, and he's going to give away his fortune. Just mark my words, it's a pledge. Now, he can't do it now for some reason. It has to be, I guess, when he passes away. Hopefully will be soon. his buddy, business partner, Charlie Munger, another white devil, died recently. Only the good die young, as they say. Finally, some good news here in Seattle. Taco Time is going to a new kind of hot sauce that comes in little packets, like Taco Bell's hot sauce. I love Taco Bell's hot sauce, by the way. Taco Time, the odd regional chain that sells Mexi fries, which are literally tater tots. Their salsa or hot sauce was served in these plastic ramekins, and it was like watery, dried red pepper flakes with red food coloring. It's horrible. So good news for them.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Treat yourself to something nice. Brighten up your day. A little sunshine, a little spice will go a long, long way. Taco Time has a special way to make your day a sunshine day.
Golden Age of Comedy launches January 20th. According to the Needling, we sat down with Rep. Matt Gaetz, and he just kept asking us when the Wendy's mascot was going to turn legal. Pedophile joke. Okay, so people are leaving Twitter. Oh, we have to leave Twitter. And they're going to Blue Sky, which is a Twitter-like service that's not as good and doesn't have the same functionality. And so, like, Blue Sky is this neo-shitlib site now. And it's really like, people on Blue Sky are like, I'm really sad that Trump won. It came as a complete shock. Also, I like kayaking, and Obama was our greatest president. Obama, who brought us Trump. Obama, okay, pick Joe Biden as his right-wing sidekick. Did nothing in 8 years other than bail out Wall Street, which resulted in the eviction of millions of old ladies from their homes. And now he's the worst cretin. Like, he's just pursuing fame and wealth now. The reaction to Obama was Trump. And then guess what? Obama crawls out of his island beach house mansion castle to come and stab Bernie Sanders in the back 2 elections in a row so that we can get Biden in there. And what was the result of that? History Link, very important resource for the Doom Planet podcast, local Seattle history website. The ancient boomer liberals that run History Link are, like all boomer liberals, for some odd reason, shocked. Oh, heaven forfend that Trump won. And now they're fighting the power the only way they know how, by censoring themselves and retreating to a perceived safe space. Lame. And History Link posts, the time has come for History Link to leave Twitter, but we will keep this account open so that no one steals our handle. To stay up to date on the work that we do, follow us where the skies are blue. So Nancy Sinatra is so sad that Trump won. And these boots were made for walking to hand the genocide baton to Trump. So the genocide supervised by Genocide Joe is now going to terrible genocide Trump. This is weird. The Onion, the satirical newspaper website, started as a humble print edition newspaper at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, and now it's a capitalist psyop. The new owner is a billionaire, Jeff Lawson, major Kamala Harris donor, and he hawks AI solutions. And he purchased Alex Jones's InfoWars as kind of a publicity stunt. And of course, the Needling responded to that with a funny, the Needling purchases Como, Como being the right-wing local TV station. So this Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight perfect for the meme stock era of cringe that we are now in. Pointless, reckless, dangerous, big money spectacle poisoning the minds of millions.
Declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Jake El Gallo Paul!
Mike Tyson is my age, by the way, twice as old as Jake Paul. I had to ask my kids who that was. He's an ugly, abhorrent douchebag. But I have a lot of aches and pains, and I can't imagine Mike Tyson doesn't, because I've never been in a boxing ring. And he got his ass kicked, but I think Jake went easy on him. Speaking of which, Don King, the person that stole more of Mike Tyson's money than anyone, perhaps the reason that Mike is felt compelled to risk his health to fight Jake Paul and get $20 million for an hour's worth of work. Don King is still alive. Only the good die young, Don King. You're 93 years old. Now, before this fight, there was two women beat the hell out of each other in the sickest thing I have ever seen. There was blood and open wounds, and perfect for the meme stock era is to watch two women beat the hell out of each other. And of course, we predicted everything right this month. We can't see the greatest fighter of all time winning. Tyson is smarter than the young goon, but brawn beats brains in our new ultra-violent meme stock world. What is happening in our culture when a worthless asset like Dogecoin is up 250% in a month? Well, it's the Memestock Presidency, which officially begins on January 20th. Blue Sky, the wussy Twitter replacement that's never going to catch on. Twitter is where I go for a lot of news, and a lot of my favorite journalists are there. And you can block right-wing assholes on Twitter. So if you go to Blue Sky, they have directions for setting up your username with your domain name. And the example they give is NPR. So that tells you everything you need to know. Websites have a long history of verification already, so using domains borrows their authority. For example, a newsroom, that's debatable, like NPR, could set their handle to be at npr.org. Okay, NPR. Twitter, of course, has its problems. I get served with the worst ads. I think I've seen this one a million times. Tanish Q Jewelry, Seattle. And jewelry is spelled with two L's. There's RFK Jr. on a private jet with Musk and Trump. And they're all eating McDonald's. RFK Jr. is holding a Big Mac or something. And someone posted, making the new gang member do drugs to make sure he's not an undercover cop. Is this going to be fun?
McDonald's, in McDonald land, McDonald's, in McDonald land, McDonald's.
Caitlin Johnstone, my favorite, one of my favorite journalists, says Trump is profoundly evil, but he's a very conventional kind of profoundly evil of the same variety as Biden, Obama, and Bush before him. The big lie about Trump is that he's a special deviation from the norm, and both sides believe this lie. Actually, everything about the actual policies of his first term revealed that he is a very ordinary Republican president who is evil in more or less the same ways as all the other evil Republican presidents. He didn't do anything that wasn't already being done by those before him and won't continue to be done by those after him. But both Democrats and Republicans see him as a drastic departure from the status quo. Why? Mark Hamill is migrating to Blue Sky. That's really the best news I've heard in a while. What a despicable person. total, like Rob Reiner, total shit lib who thinks Kamala Harris is somehow this progressive wonderkind who's going to solve all our problems with capitalist solutions. Ellie Valley, one of my favorite cartoonists, talking about morons and terrorists demanding the NYU be shut down. They're not, of course, they're not protesting Jews or Jewish facilities. They're protesting Zionist Jews committing a genocide in Gaza. The New York Times, always a Zionist newspaper, now no credibility now, none. It's laughable. Like, I read some of the stuff in there, but normally I read the headlines and I'm just thinking I'm reading The Onion. They're publishing arty torture porn. There's this photo essay, Out of Gaza. We photographed badly wounded Gazans who made it out for treatment. Many can think of little, but the dead they left behind. We wanted to go with them, too, one child told us. And so they're artfully lit as if it's like Vogue magazine. So yeah, C-SPAN, my favorite TV station, that's going to be so good in 2025. Welcome to the Memestock era. Get ready for the ride of a lifetime with this. Pump.fun is a website where you can create your own shitcoin, right? And a 13-year-old started a coin called Quant, and somehow it got up to being worth $35 million. And so his holdings are now worth $1.2 million. A kid typing some shit on a keyboard suddenly has $1 million. Of course, we had a piece of performance art. Say banana duct taped to a wall was sold for $6.2 million to Justin Sun, a crypto entrepreneur and art collector. And okay, so Matt Gaetz was appointed to be Attorney General. Just because Trump is a political genius, he is. Say what you want about him, and he's playing like five-dimensional chess here with these crazy appointments. And so we suggested John Walsh of America's Most Wanted should be the Attorney General. Jay Leno, again, this is a wild month. This episode really, we're just going through what has happened here. On the 19th, Jay Leno was seriously injured because he says he fell down a hill at the Hampton Inn. And I don't know what a guy as rich as he is doing at a shitty motel. And we also suggested, okay, rough trade. Like, what are Jay Leno's secrets? Does he like to get beaten on when he's wearing leather pants? And these people in this world, sick, in this sick society. Of course, Jay Leno is a car worshiper. He's probably burned more gas and destroyed the more than any other rich celebrity. So I'm watching C-SPAN, my favorite channel, and there's an executive from Lockheed Martin lecturing a room full of army people. Incredible. Like, no one's hiding it anymore. Okay, some idiot posted that the goal is to be rich, not to look rich. Bill Gates at Dick's Burgers, that was a few years ago, in Seattle, waiting in line to place his order. When you're worth billions, casually dressed, you don't need swag to prove you're ridiculously rich. He runs the largest charity in the world. Okay, so we all know that there were, half a dozen members of his elite security team in the vicinity when he did that. He did not go alone to fucking Dick's Burgers. It was a PR stunt. The needling just killing it lately. SPD officer instinctively turns off body cam before approaching dark turkey meat. Again in the needling, Bezos travels to Amazon rainforest to search for endangered birds to stuff inside turducken. It's actually not a joke. I mean, these billionaires they're right out of a dystopian comic book. They're like cartoon characters, cartoonishly evil.
Only a truth-based relationship with reality can satisfy.
Someone posts, as a parting gift to an ungrateful world, Joe Biden leaves you with a ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. What? Peter Dow writes, please, your hero's parting gift is one of the worst child massacres in history. Genocide will forever be his legacy.
You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
Elites want to talk about everything except this, but as a historian, let me tell you, such conditions, you simply cannot keep a democracy alive. It requires ever more propaganda, authoritarianism, and violence. It's not sustainable. It's dangerous. The headline from Forbes that they're responding to, the 3 richest Americans hold more wealth than the bottom 50% of the country. Get ready for the guillotines, okay? That's, of course, a lot of people will die that are not billionaires, but that's another story. Lucy Apple Juicy points out that Seattle Art Museum voted for a union with 90% of their members voting yes. 2 years ago, they've been fighting for a fair contract ever since. Now they're going on strike. We were members last year of SAM, and it's infuriating. They send you these emails, special member event. And it's like, oh, okay, so I paid my dues and I'm a member. I get to see this art show early or do something. No, all these events cost money. You know, the art world literally exists because it's money laundering for rich people. And in a just society, the Seattle Art Museum would be free and you could get lots of people going there and learning something. But no, that's not how it works. Some talk that Justin Trudeau is Barron Trump's father because there's a resemblance. But, you know, Barron is almost 7 feet tall and Trudeau is a posh wanker. And, okay, Thanksgiving. Angry Seattle says, happy eating too much dead Big Bird and drinking with creepy Uncle Bob while conveniently forgetting about Native American Oppression Day to all who celebrate. Peter Dow writes, Kamala appointed as a nominee without getting a single vote, wasted at $1.5 billion rehabilitating Dick Cheney and losing to Trump, then went on vacation to Hawaii while continuing to send bombs to kill brown babies in Gaza. A liberal icon. And boy, she has looked like shit since the election. You know, you have the best stylist and makeup artist wardrobe in the world, and that can't hide the tired, druggy look on her evil face. Caitlin Johnstone says it should be illegal to force homeless people to relocate. If a rich neighborhood is the best place to sleep, rough, then the rich should be forced to look at a daily reminder of the dystopia they live in and that they cause until the underlying problems which cause homelessness have been fixed. The problem being capitalism. J.D. Vance posted a meme. It's an altered version of the famous Norman Rockwell Thanksgiving scene. And it's J.D. Vance in a dress holding a turkey, but the turkey is the electoral map of the United States showing all red because Trump won. And then Trump is standing behind his little booty grinning, his Trump grin. So yeah, rough trade Jay Leno rear admiral there is JD's fantasy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the beginning of the Memestock era. A November we will never forget. Now, before I go, I wanted to look at a magazine that is the hit list for the revolution. And I mistakenly thought that this was a Condé Nast owned magazine, and maybe it was, but now it's owned by Hearst. Town and Country magazine. Actress on the front wearing fancy clothes, fancy jewelry, styled to the hilt. She's wearing a Fendi dress, $3,590. Wolford tights, $55. Cartier high jewelry necklace. Wow, this magazine is all about rich baubles that the rich people can buy. And that must be a very horrifying life if all you do is go shop for expensive, useless things. Indulge us a little, won't you? How to escape to the future, escape to the ranch, escape from basic. Okay. In this issue, Town and Country History. 666 Ranch in Texas from 1979. You might recognize it from Yellowstone, the TV show. But the legend of the Four Sixes Ranch, as this Texan sprawl is known, goes back to 1870. One of the state's most successful horse breeding and cattle ranching operations. And let's see, Samuel Burke Burnett, the founder in 1870, has started one of the wealthiest families in Texas. Of course, discovering oil on the property sped up the process. It was also the backdrop of the Marlboro Man ads. Remember when there were cigarette ads everywhere, even on TV?
Come to where the flavor is. Come to Marlboro Country.
Okay, so here's the staff of Town and Country talking about all their fancy vacations. Roxanne Adamiyat, Deputy Digital Lifestyle Director. I will never complain about multiple trips to Europe every year, but I'm determined to make 2025 the year that I head to Japan. Emily Adar, Senior Visual Editor. I had an amazing trip to the Greek islands this summer, and I'm looking forward to a family vacay in St. Lucia this coming winter. These people have no sense of self-awareness. They don't understand that most people don't take any vacations in this country, let alone these fancy vacations. Jacqueline Bloomfield, Fashion Editor. I didn't travel far this year, but I made my escape to a Town and Country tried and true, Broadway. Claire Brito is the social media editor. On the coast of France this summer, we snuck away for a day trip to Villefranche-sur-Mer, tossing bathing suits in the car keys on the beach, and later, the dinner reservation, entirely following our noses to a local spot. Improvisational vacation bliss, ! So, person is very proud of themselves. Emily Burrock is the senior news editor. What news? How big is the news hole at Town and Country magazine? I'm heading to a wedding in Paris this spring. Nicole Clacken, visual research editor. Euro anniversary. This past September, I celebrated my 10th anniversary on a Europe trip. Okay. Tess Donlevy, designer. I had the perfect New England vacation in Kennebunkport, Maine. Sophie Dweck, associate shopping editor. Shopping editor. I spent 10 days last summer in Sicily, where I lived out my White Lotus fantasies. I don't know what White Lotus is, but I know that Sophie Dweck is probably white. Kristen Fitzpatrick, design director. My dream trip for 2025 is Reykjavik. Okay. Clara Glozekskwa, executive travel editor. In March, I did a 4-day sustainability master class. led by Josh Kent at Ann Beyond's Finda Mountain Lodge in South Africa. Super close wildlife encounters. Yeah, going to South Africa as a tourist. Why don't you just go to Israel if you want to go to somewhere racist, or the United States for that matter. Carolyn Halliman is the digital director of Town and Country. A solo trip to the UK was made all the more special by a peek at the Royal Archives. Erin Hobday, executive managing editor. I'm hoping to escape with my family on an adventure to Istanbul, okay? Most people don't get that opportunity, but I'm glad that you're going over there probably to help feed the poor, right, and volunteer your time helping the underprivileged. Lena Kim, editor, spent a week living out my cowgirl dreams on a dude ranch in Wyoming. Practice what you preach. Who edits this magazine? It's got the corny writing style where they talk about vacays. Chin Lee is the deputy design director, or one of them. Went to Bermuda, going back to Asia. James Lockhart, copy chief. My family went to Korea, okay? April Long, beauty director. I have dreamed of visiting Egypt since I was a child. Ashley McDonald Bennett, deputy managing editor. In April, I went on a girls' trip to Ireland with my two best friends. Isaiah Maxino, style news editor. I returned from a summer trip to the UK's Lake District with a new love, archery. I almost feel like I want to shoot that person in the heart with a crossbow. Eric Maza, executive style director. Dominoes on the Nile is a fav memory from a fab trip. God, the copy editor of this magazine should be shot in the head with a crossbow. Fab and fad. Hannah Morolf, fashion assistant. My recent trip to Venice with Roberto Coin included palazzos, high jewelry, and a masquerade ball. Yeah, you and me both, Hannah, while the world fucking literally burns. Nalida Mortensen, senior visual editor. I've never been to Venice. It's on top of my list. I plan to make a pilgrimage to the Peggy Guggenheim collection. Jennifer Newman, another senior visual editor. Excited to reunite with my family on the shores of Lake Michigan. Okay, that's fair enough. That's a normal one. Dania Lucero Ortiz, fashion and accessories director. I can't wait to be on the beach at Hotel Terrestre in Puerto Escondido, Mexico. Oh, hell yeah, I've been there. It's kind of a sketchy town, but the hotel she's describing is like the fancy rich people hotel. Adam Rafe, deputy features director. A huge highlight of 2024 was a family trip to Zambia. I love rich white people going to Africa and gazing at all the wonderment. Norman Vanamy, how many people work for this fucking magazine? Articles director. My family went to Martha's Vineyard. Oh, you should visit fucking Barack Obama at his castle there. The worst. Obama brought us Trump, yeah, for starters. Then he got paid $20 million to do a 6-episode podcast with Bruce Springsteen. Then he got paid $100 million to become a movie producer for Netflix, although he has zero experience, never worked on so much as a TV commercial. Stellane Volandes, editor-in-chief. I went to Athens and Paros this summer. I ate at Cantina and Omega 3. That, my friends, is Town and Country magazine. The rest of the magazine, other than that very clever article, is really about buying expensive jewelry. Here's golden enamel day bangle, $47,500. Pomelato Iconica bracelet, $25,200. Cartier high jewelry earrings. Jonathan Hansen in the Clouds Rocks tumbler, $252. What? It's all baubles. Flights of Fancy, retail therapy. It's been a tough year. We all deserve a break, an escape to an alternate reality or two. Here's what you'll need to get there. And then it's fancy jewelry and a lack of self-awareness. Okay, this has been the Doomed Planet podcast.
Alex, hold up a minute. I got something I want to tell you.
Oh, it's RFK Jr. Thank you, sir, for the interview last episode.
Alex, I just want to mention if anyone's trying to shoot me like I shot other members of my family, my security consultant is Gavin D. Becker.
Gavin D. Becker, really? Wow, you are rich, because he does bodyguard psyop spook work for Jeff Bezos, among other people.
That's right, and no one's ever going to be able to shoot me, okay? Whether it's in Dallas or if I'm in a kitchen in a restaurant, no one going to shoot me, okay, Alex?
Well, I hope not. I wouldn't wish that on almost anyone.
Okay, one more thing. My wife, Cheryl Hines, beautiful young woman, much younger than me. She is promoting her line of Maha candles, body sprays, and creams. And we did a little thing.
Yeah, I saw that, Mr. Kennedy.
I was taking a shower naked, and she's standing in front of me. It's very clever. We had some good producers work on this little internet stunt. So I'm naked, but of course her head is blocking the glorious body parts that we can't show on the internet.
God, I'm already sick of you, although the cartoonish comic book of the Trump administration, that should be a fun deal, and I wish you luck. Okay, sir, but I gotta go.
Okay, Alex, you have it your way. Get it? Have it your way. Because I eat burgers now. I eat a lot of burgers.
Have it your way. Have it your way. Have it your way at Burger King.
5, 6, 7, 8. Goodbye. This is the end of the song.
Only a truth-based relationship with reality can satisfy.
Find out more at doomedplanet.com. Goodbye.